Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amartha Rupani and in today's video I am going to talk about how to create a Canadian style resume, and after watching this video guys, you will be able to create your own resume and present your skills, your qualifications and your work experience according to Canadian way. So without wasting any time, let's start. Okay, so there are different kinds of resume that people make depending on their skills and duration of work experience they have, but I will discuss the most commonly used template that employers usually prefer in Canada, and it is called chronological resume. And the elements that you need to include in your resume are your name, your home address, your contact information such as email address and phone number, your occupation title, the summary of all the qualifications and skills you have, your work experience, your education, and other professional skills. Now let's just discuss the details of these elements. Okay, so this is the sample of a chronological resume that I'm going to show you, and guys, this is my own resume and I've changed some of the information just for the privacy reasons. So anyways guys, let me just walk you through each section of my resume step by step. So the first element of my resume is my name, which is Amartha Rupani, and it is written in capital letters and the font size is 14, and the type of font is Times New Roman. And guys, you can select the type of font as per your choice, but I would suggest that you go with this because this is the most commonly used fonts for resumes. And the next section or element of your resume is your home address, and the reason you need to add home address is because employer wants to know where exactly do you live and how far do you live from the company that you applied for the job. But in your case, since you don't live in Canada, so the job you're applying for, listing your current address can get your resume quickly rejected without even looking at your skills and your work experience, especially if the employer is looking for a Canadian candidate. So guys, I would suggest to add a line saying that you are willing to relocate in the province or in the city where you applied to. Let's say if you're applying for a job in Regina, that is the city of Saskatchewan, then you may want to add this line with your current home address. Okay, so the next element is your contact information. So guys, please provide your phone number and your email address. Okay, now let's move on to the next element, which is your profession title or the job you are applying to. Now this one I customize according to the job posting that I want to apply to. Since I have an industrial engineering degree, and if I go to my national occupation code, so this is the NOC page where you can find your own NOC for the degree you have. So mine is industrial engineering and manufacturing, and I will click this and then it gives me my NOC, which is 2141, and these are all the possible titles that I can use or I can work for, and these are the main duties that I will be performing at my job. And guys, one more thing I would like to mention in here, that in Canada, under the Professional Engineers Act, you may only use engineer word in your job title if you hold a professional engineering license, which is also called PEng, because engineering field requires you to have license to practice in Canada. Like in my case, I can write quality engineer because I'm already in the process of getting my PEng soon, and right now I am engineer in training. That's why I have written EIT in the bracket, and employer will understand this. So anyways guys, that's a very long discussion and I don't want to make this video too long. And if you want to know more about PEng, please let me know in the comment box. I will make a separate video on it. But if you have engineering profession and if you don't have Canadian PEng, then instead of using engineer word, then you may want to write, for example, if you're an electrical engineer, then write electrical engineering specialist. For more information, please visit professional engineering license website, which is given in the description box below, and you will find all the related information there. Okay, so now let's move on to the next section, which is highlights or summary. Now I would say this is the key section because this is where you highlight upfront the most important things about you. This part can make your employer decide if they want to call you for an interview or not. So what you put in this section is very important. It should be focused on the job you are applying for and use the right keywords which are relevant to the job posting. So this is actually the summary of all your qualifications, your work experience, your degrees, your technical skills, your soft skills. So everything you will write in here. So guys, try to make it short and nice, because this is the only part which can convince your employer that your skills are useful for the company. Okay, so the next element is your work experience, and guys, in this section, list your recent jobs first with the dates. So in my case, my last job was quality engineer, and it was one of the automotive companies in Windsor. So I've mentioned its name, its location, and also the dates, that is starting and completion date of my job. And then in the bullet form, write all the duties and work you have performed in the detail. However guys, don't write just a description of your duties. Try to write some numbers, or in other words you can say results that you have achieved from those duties or projects. For example, in here I've mentioned the results in percentage for one of the projects that I did at my work, and I achieved 80% of the results. So something like this, because Canadian employers like to see results in numbers instead of generic description. Similarly, you will add all the job positions that you have held in the past one by one with company's name, location, and your start and completion date of the position. And the most efficient way of creating the list of duties that you perform at your job is super easy. All you have to do is just go to the National Occupation Code website, and the link is given in the description box below, and enter your NOC or your job title. Let's say if you're IT specialist, then it will give you a complete list of all the titles that you can use in your resume. And compare your daily duties that you perform at your work with the listed duties of your NOC. This way it will help you to use the right keywords. And guys, don't forget to show results of your projects or job duties in numbers, because as I said, Canadian employers like to see your accomplishments in numbers instead of generic description. Okay, so once you have completed your work experience section, then move on to the next, which is education, and it is pretty much straightforward. All you have to do is just enter your degree or diploma or certificate that you have in this area with the school or institute name in here and the year of completion as well. And you can also add another element, which is professional training and certifications, where you can add your any professional certificate. And then next, you can also add your professional skills element, where you can particularly specify your technical skills. And the last section of my resume says the references available upon request, because that I don't want to provide until the employer doesn't ask. So anyways guys, there are also other elements that you can add in your resume if you want. For example, objective statement, your volunteer work, your language skills, and hobbies. Now, language skills are important for certain companies where you might have to travel in different countries, where you will meet up with your company's clients who speak language other than English. Then it's somehow a plus point for you to know different languages, and do mention in your resume. And the elements that are not required to include in your resume are your age, your marital status, your race, and your religion, because Canadian employers hire candidates on the basis of their qualifications and their talent. And now it's time to give you some useful tips which will help you a lot to make a strong resume. The first one is always customize your resume according to the job posting. Just try to use same keywords in your resume which are used in the job posting, because it will help your resume to get filtered in the screening process that employers use in Canada, and it will also increase the chances of getting interview call. And guys, keep the email address professional. For example, just try to make ID at your name, first name and last name. And guys, try to adjust your resume content within 2 pages because no one likes to read lengthy stuff. And please ensure that your resume is free of all the spelling mistakes, and utilize the space smartly by choosing effective font and its size. So that was pretty much it for today, guys, and if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and do subscribe my channel because there's a lot more coming up for you guys. Till then, you take care and I'll see you again.